Good morning, ladies. So it is about, I don't even know what time it is, 7:30 in the morning, and I'm actually, again, getting ready for work, but I figured it would be a good time to do another video for you guys. I know I started this video like probably 2 months ago. I don't even know how long it's been, but it's my answers to my Q&A video. I didn't get as many questions, so I was kind of, holding off to see if any more people had questions for me, but I didn't get any more, so I figured might as well start giving answers. So I have questions from 5 different people, so I can say their names before, each question that they've asked me. So I'll start with the first question that I have. Let's see. So this one is from a baby from our home, or for our home. And first question, God, I can't even see. I need to make this a little bigger. Okay. What is your favorite food to eat? My favorite food to eat would be anything carb-based, potatoes, bread, potatoes in any form, really. French fries, mashed potatoes, baked potatoes. Scalloped potatoes are really good. I'm kind of hooked on those right now, but I'm trying not to eat them because they're not good for you. And then I also love Italian food, so pasta with, creamy sauces or red sauces or anything like that. So that's pretty much like my all-time favorite thing to eat ever. I could have, Italian food or pasta or bread probably, 4 or 5 times a week if it wouldn't make me fat. What is your favorite shoe store? Honestly, I have gigantic feet. Well, not really gigantic. I think they're gigantic, but I wear a size 10, 10 and a half, and if I want to wear a heel or anything like that, I have to get an 11 or 11 and a half because it puts too much pressure on my toes. So I don't really have like a whole bunch of shoe stores I can shop at. I kind of buy my shoes when I find them. Like sometimes I'll find some good ones at Target or Payless shoe stores. I don't spend a lot of money on shoes. Let's just say that first of all. I don't go any high-end shoe stores. No Macy's. Nothing like that. So yeah, Target. Yeah, Old Navy. I love Old Navy's flip-flops. I could live in those. Payless shoe stores are pretty much the main places that I buy shoes, and then some random other places, Walmart maybe, I don't know. But yeah, those are the 2 questions that I have from a baby for our home, and I'll put everybody's link in the channel bar below as well for all the people that asked me questions, so if you want to go to their page and check them out. Let's see, this one is from Christy20005. And she says, what's your favorite clothing store? And oh, that's a second question. So what is your favorite clothing store? My favorite clothing store is by far Old Navy, Gap. That's just totally my style. I love Target. I shop at Walmart. I get a few things at the mall, but for the most part, probably 80% of the clothes that I buy are from Old Navy, and I think the reason is because not only are they casual and inexpensive, I mean, they may not be made that well, but I still love them, and the way they fit my body kind of just appeals to me a lot more. And then I just, I love Target too because it's inexpensive, but let's see, next question. Where did you and your hubby meet? And where was your first date? Okay, I guess that's one question. I'll kind of answer it all in one. My husband and I met through, actually, my ex-boyfriend, who they played in a semi-pro football league together in my hometown. And Tim, my husband now, used to come to like after football parties that we used to have at my house because my mom was kind of the team mom and used to provide waters and snacks and everything for the team. And then after games, we would all go back to my mom's my mom has a huge 4-floor Victorian house with a huge basement, and they put a bar down there, so we would always have tons of parties down there. And Tim would come to that all the time, and then he was also just a friend of of other friends, so I'd bump into him, or in other places that I would go. And let's see, oh gosh, how do I shorten this a little bit? But basically, when I first met Tim, my husband now, I used to think he was super arrogant and kind of annoying because he talks a lot, and that takes some getting used to for some people. And for the first year that I knew him, it was I just kind of thought he was annoying. And then we kind of lost contact for a little while. I went to college and everything like that. And then this was back in the MySpace days when MySpace was popular. I found out through a friend that he was actually in the motorcycle accident where he had, lost his arm. And I was, obviously completely shocked by it. And I couldn't believe that nobody had told me sooner, because I didn't know about it until he was actually out of the hospital. Otherwise, I would have definitely been there to visit him in the hospital. That's just the kind of person I am, because I hope that people would do that, same thing for me. But anyways, so I found out after he was already home from the hospital, and he was in the hospital about 3 weeks. And then I got, I don't know what I was doing, but I was on MySpace, and I sent him a message, and then he replied back, if I ever wanted to hang out or whatever. So, a mutual friend of both of ours, kind of went over there because she was dating one of his friends at the time, and I don't know, I'm trying to relive all these memories. It's kind of hard. But we went and started hanging out, and with my massage therapist background, I was working with him, kind of his physical therapy, changing his bandages, because he was still pretty fresh out of the hospital, and he had, a cast on his right hand, he had a cast on his foot, and then obviously he had bandages on his arm that was gone. And I was working, cleaning him up and changing his bandages and working with his physical therapy and kind of stretching him out and stuff. So yeah, I guess that's kind of how we fell in love, is just, we spent so much time together, and we just kind of slowly started dating. And I don't know, then, after like a year had gone by, I didn't find him as annoying. I don't know if the accident kind of changed him a little bit, but yeah. But anyways, that is how we met. That's a really long story. And our first date was, I think we went to the movies, and we went to Johnny Carino's for dinner. And then I think we went to a bookstore afterwards and picked out a couple books. I think that was our first date. Or it could even have been just hanging out at his house. I don't know what he considers our first date, but yeah. All right, next question is from Ashley and David P07. And she wants to know, you probably said this in another video, but I didn't catch it. But when are you planning to actively TTC? See, this is a really long time ago. But we're actually going to be actively TTCing in the second weekend in June, which I actually think is, let me open up my calendar here. The second weekend in June is that 10th, 11th, and 12th are I believe my most fertile days, according to my cycle and everything. Next question is from, I don't know how to pronounce this, Taetwa, Tewada? I don't even know. How many pets do you have? Oh gosh, I have a farm. I have an iguana who's over here in the cage. You can't see. Turn my computer so you can see. Over there in the corner, I have an iguana. And we're actually thinking about getting rid of him because he's not tamed and we can't really do much with him. So we pretty much are just feeding him and heating, his cage with lights and changing his bedding. So he's more of we're costing us money, and we can't really get anything out of him because he won't let us put our hands in the cage really. And when we do, he whips us with his tail, and he's not very nice. And then I have 3 cats, which are all sleeping right now, and 1 dog, Lola. My cats' names are Lucky, Paisley, and Tux, or Tuxie, because after we named him Tux, we found out it was a girl, so we call her Tuxie now. And then obviously, yeah, my dog Lola. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pets, probably soon to be. Okay, so my timer just stopped. I wasn't recording the last half of this video. So, I'll start over. I think the last question was how many pets do I have, and I have 5 going on 6. Okay, favorite memory with my husband, and these questions that I'm about to start are from Pearl Darling, and that's from my friend Sierra. And my favorite memory with my husband is definitely hard to say because I have so many great ones. I mean, the first time he said, he told me he loved me when we signed the papers on our house and got the keys to our house. The day he proposed to me, our wedding day. I mean, our first night as a married couple was amazing. I mean, it's so hard to pick one. Favorite childhood memory would definitely have to be when my mom and my sister and I, because my mom was a single mom, so I didn't have a father growing up, would just pick up and, kind of just do a spur-of-the-moment little trip over the weekend. She would pick us up from school. The car would be all packed and loaded. We would either go camping for the weekend or we would go visit her best friend who lived in the mountains for the weekend. We did that a lot. And that was just the best thing ever because, as soon as we would see my mom parked outside, we would know that we're going somewhere and we'd get all excited. So that was definitely one of my favorite childhood memories. I have a lot more, but that's the one that kind of stands out the most. If you could take an all-expense paid vacation to anywhere in the world and take 5 people with you, where would you go and who would you take? I would definitely go somewhere like New Zealand or Thailand or, Greece or Italy or I don't even know. Somewhere over that way. Because that's definitely always been a dream of mine. And then if I could take 5 people with me, I would definitely take my husband, my mother, my 2 best friends, and then maybe my sister, and I don't know, I have a few people I could probably fill that 5th slot with. So I would have to do some thinking on that one. My favorite movie and why. I couldn't pick just one. Absolutely impossible. I have 4, that didn't come out clearly. I have 4 movies that are my all-time favorites, and I absolutely could watch them 100 times over and over and over again, and those movies would have to be Grease, Dirty Dancing, Ghost, and Pretty Woman. And I'm sure a lot of you ladies agree with me, but those ones are definitely like just the best movies ever. I grew up on them. My mom started letting us watch them when we were like, 10, 11, 12-ish. And I just love the romance behind them. And Dirty Dancing, I loved all the dancing in it. And then Grease, I love how she goes from like an ugly, shy duckling to, like a beautiful, crazy, dark, I don't know, like a dark swan, I guess you could say, to get her man. And I just love that story and all the music in it and the dancing and everything. And that is the last question. Wow. Okay, so thank you ladies who did send me questions, and I'm so sorry that it took me forever to get this video made. Again, I was hoping for more questions, but hey, whatever. Do what you gotta do. Sorry, I'm playing with my hair tie, if you're wondering what I'm doing. Alright, so I have to go finish getting ready for work. Done my hair and my makeup, but I still have to get dressed. So I am going to let you go, and I will probably do another question and answer video down the road, but I got another, I got to get some more subscribers first. Blah. And to all my new subscribers, thank you so much. You guys rock. Anyways, I'm losing my train of thought, and I will talk to you later. Have a good day. Bye.